afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Shay and I will be leading Self-Care for Adults Part 2 with our focus on mindfulness. Shay, are you here with me? Okay, well, I'll let her introduce herself.
I'm here with you.
Oh, okay. All right, so introduce yourself.
Okay, Christina Johnson, also known as Shay. Happy Friday. I am a resource teacher for JCPS, Social Emotional Learning / Trauma Informed Care. I'm getting a little cut when you talk. It's kind of broken up, but we'll continue.
Okay, hopefully it works for us. All right, so we're going to get started with our contact information. Our department is made up of myself and Shay as resource teachers, and then Jennifer Driscoll is also the third resource teacher. And then you see our boss listed here on the screen as well, Dr. Lamisa Marks-Johns. And she and Jen will be in the chat answering any questions or responding to any concerns that you might have. We'll also have our contact information at the end in case you miss it here. But if you find yourself in need of resources, have questions, need some support, feel free to email any of us, and we'll be sure to get back to you. Our training goals for this training are to look at and review some definitions for self-care and mindfulness. If you joined Shay and I last week, you heard Shay talk about what self-care is and what mindfulness is, so we're going to review that. And then Shay is going to take us through a mindfulness activity and then show us an example of what a self-care or a mindfulness calendar might look like. And then we have a template for you to be able to use to create your own. With all of our trainings, because we talk about trauma, which sometimes brings up some uncomfortable feelings, we include a self-care alert. So if you begin to feel overwhelmed, feel like that you need to, please feel free to take a break. If you need to talk to somebody, put some comments in the chat, phone or text a friend, or do something relaxing. We talk often about breathing techniques, and Jay showed us some things we could do last week, talked about some of the things that I'm going to review. And then she's also going to show us 2 different things that we might do. But if you have your go-to activities, feel free to go and do those and then come back to this at a later time. I know that this video is being recorded, so it's something that you can reference when it works best for your emotional state. So I'm going to start off with talking about what self-care is. So self-care is taking an active role in protecting our own well-being, in making sure that our happiness takes precedence, in particular in times of stress. Now, education is a stressful profession, so this is something that could happen for 10 months of the year, but making sure that when we are dealing with others in all situations, that we are also safeguarding our own happiness, doing those things to bring ourselves back calm or allowing some peace in our lives. We talked with you last week about 3 specific ways to do that, and remembering to find some things to have fun with, whether it be watching a funny video, whether it be going outside and enjoying the sun while it's shining for those few minutes between the rain, or maybe it's running in the rain. If that's fun for you, somebody mentioned last week when we were doing this that doing spreadsheets, whatever it might be that allows you to have fun, do it, and do it often.
Lisa?
Yes?
Yeah, interject. So I want to ask in the chat room, it's Friday, so give us some ideas. Give us some ideas that we can do this weekend. So let's share because it's going to be raining a little bit this weekend. So let's share. Let's steal each other's ideas.
Okay. And then, find some reasons to laugh. Same thing here. If it's catching up on movies, I know someone who is watching all of her old favorite movies from the 80s. I can only imagine what those would look like on our screens today, thinking about the fashion and the quality of the video. That, to me, in a lot of cases, would just cause me to laugh. I see people posting things all the time about 16 Candles or the Breakfast Club, looking at those hairstyles, the clothes that they wore in that video, and I love both of those, but that would be something that would give me a good laugh. The other thing that Shay talked about last week, and we just want to reiterate, is being grateful. Finding those moments or those things to stop us, make us become present and think, wow, it's amazing that I have this available to me. Wow, it's so awesome that I don't have to go without this. Finding something, and sometimes in the midst of stressful times, it's only going to be one, and it might be a stretch. But just taking that time to be grateful changes our focus, allows us to see those moments in greater magnitude or more often, rather than focusing on the next thing that you have to get done. There's a lady that I follow on Facebook who's been talking a whole lot about this with being present, or if she could go back to when her children were young, the things that she would tell herself. And one of them is being grateful for those moments. My child is in the middle of just started his teen years, so I'm not quite there yet with the reflective back, but this is called some of that, to look back and think, wow, if I could redo, what would be those things that I would hold on to? What would be those things that I would pay attention to? Grateful that even though we have to be in the house, that I have time to start paying attention and implementing some changes with those things that I am grateful for. The other thing that we are going to talk about and focus more of our training on today is mindfulness. So we want to start out with talking about what mindfulness is. This is what I was alluding to with being grateful. It is being aware of the present, paying attention to how our bodies feel, what emotions we have going on, the things that are happening around us, just becoming present. In the moment, not thinking about the dishes that are in the sink or the dishwasher that needs to be unloaded, the dryer that's running and the towels that you need to get out of it, not thinking about all of those to-do lists. And this time right now, though stressful with all of the unknowns around the coronavirus, is giving us those moments to slow down. And our to-do lists maybe have gotten shorter because we have the time to take to do those things that you were too exhausted to once getting home from teaching all day or from working in the school doing whatever. So just being present in those moments, maybe paying attention to how the towel feels when you get out of the shower against your skin, what it feels like with your feet in your house shoes or on your carpet, in the ground or on the dirt when you walk outside, just being present in the moment. Now, also want to make a connection so you understand why we are talking about self-care and mindfulness together. So when we talk about self-care, it's those activities, those things that we do to tend to our needs. Getting a massage after a hard time when you are carrying all the stress in your back or in your shoulders, that would be a self-care strategy. Mindfulness is the awareness of what is causing that. I mentioned this on Wednesday that my lower back hurts more now than my feet do. And when you are a teacher, you know you're on your feet all the time. So being on my feet more would cause them to hurt, less in my lower back. Now that I am sitting more during the day, I have that. But it's the awareness and therefore trying to get up and move to keep those muscles limber, that blood moving through the body so that I am aware. Again, it is finding those things that cause the issues and then implementing the self-care, because sometimes the mindfulness is there. We know what causes that stress or anxiety or the uncomfortableness in our bodies, but also making sure we get to that self-care point where we implement some strategies to help us deal with the issues that are causing us some stress or some anxiety. Okay, now we're going to move to Shay, and she's going to get us started with her portion on mindfulness with a brain break.
It's a great day to be alive. Happy Friday to JCPS family. We made it. We made it through another week. We made it. You survived. We survived, right? All right, so I'm going to hop right into the brain break for us. It's not for our students. This brain break is just for us. And we are just going to stop and we're going to focus just on our breathing. Well, Shay, we do that. That's how we're living, yeah? but this is intentional breathing. Get your finger ready. We're going to do a starfish breathing. A star has how many points? 5. Here we go. We're going to inhale up, come back down, exhale, inhale, exhale. Ready? Get your finger and let's go. Inhale, exhale. Good. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Yeah, imagine doing that at Walmart in the line. When you're waiting, trying to be patient, and someone is getting on that last nerve, just do this in the air. It's okay. All right, so that was a brain break just for you. So what we just did, we brought calm into our brain. We have an upstairs brain and a downstairs brain. The downstairs brain is our emotional brain. And we want to keep that calm. So intentional deep breaths throughout the day is very beneficial to your calm brain, right? So why does this mindfulness part 2 matter? Because we have more to tell you about it, right? Mindfulness part 2. Why does this matter to us? Because it has a lot to do with our mental health. Listen to this. As many as 75% of educators, right? That's 3/4 out of, or $1. That's a lot. 75% of us experience stress-related symptoms in our everyday workload. That includes fatigue, yes. Weakness, yes. Lack of energy. I'm so tired. I just feel so just withdrawn, right? Irritability. Irritability. Good. Heartburn, headaches, trouble sleeping, depression. All of that has probably knocked on our door since we've been teaching, since we've been in the education field. We are not immune to this thing called stress. We are not immune to this thing called burnouts. We're not machines. We are living beings who deal with families, who deal with sickness, who deal with lesson plans, who deal with faculty and staff, and so we're not immune to this stress thing. We have to take care of ourselves, and a lot of it has to do with our mental health. I can't pour from a cup that's completely empty. That's dry. Let's go. All right, so how full is your cup, right? So if you've been in the wilderness of the education field and all those things we just talked about, could be pretty empty. Why do we need to keep a full cup? Because we have to give all the time, give up ourselves all the time. Our job is very demanding, right? We often feel that our job is our identity. Hello, my name is Shay. I am a wife. I am a mother, and I am a teacher. That is my identity. That is what I identify with, right? It's hard for us to take care of ourselves when we take care of others, right? That is our career, taking care of others. Mothers, that is our life, taking care of others. When we wake up in the morning, a lot of times we hit the ground running. We throw on that superwoman or Superman cape and we just take off. But we really leave our mental state behind, right? When we put on our superpower, our Superwoman or Superman cape, what's really in it for us? Are you giving, right? Are you giving of yourself? And how can you give up yourself if your glass is empty? So we have to take care of our mental state. We have to take care of ourselves. Well, Shay, okay, that's why I'm on here. How do I do that? Yes, great questions. Let's go. So one way that we can take care of ourselves is this thing called mindfulness, right? Mindfulness is about taking a break and just focusing on the present, right? It's just, sometimes it's maybe just closing your eyes and counting to 5. Sometimes it is the StarFish breathing, right? Mindfulness is recognizing your 5 senses in the present moment. the smells that I'm experiencing, the sounds that I'm around 24 hours a day. It makes us, our bodily sensations, it equips us to say, wait a minute, my body kind of feels tense at about, 2 hours after I enter my classroom. Why is that? Right? Mindfulness is being aware of an increased heartbeat or your emotions changing throughout the day. Why am I upbeat in the morning and then 2 hours after that, I'm kind of drawn down, and it's not the coffee. It's something that's going on here. Mindfulness is about treating yourself, not just with the Snicker bar, right? But what fills your cup? How do you want to treat yourself? When you come across a friend or a family member who is going through a horrible time, a very stressful time, what advice, what encouragement would you give him or her? What would you tell him or her? Would you say, baby, you've made it through 100% of your worst days. You're going to get through this too, right? Would you offer a big giant hug right now with mask on? Would you say, let's have a cup of coffee and vent it all out? I'm here to listen, right? What would you say? What would you do for that person? 2 days ago, my mom knocked on the door and she had a big bouquet of flowers. Just a big bouquet of flowers. Didn't even tell me she was bringing me flowers. My mother knows what fills my cup, and that's encouragement. So the flowers were saying, hey, baby, mama got you. Here is a pick-me-up to encourage you. What fills your cup to make it through the next moment, to make it through the next day? Let's go. So let's talk about what mindfulness is not. Mindfulness is not about spacing out and escaping, going to some la Pluto land. That's not what mindfulness is about. It's the total opposite. It's about connecting to yourself. It's about being self-aware. It is about tuning in to your emotions. What emotion are you feeling right now? And why are you feeling that emotion? Right now, I'm feeling very excited because I love the job that I'm doing. I have 2 wonderful kids that are healthy. I have a wonderful husband. I'm thinking of that, right? That causes me to feel grateful, which brings me to excitement. Mindfulness is not a religion. There's no such thing as a mindfulness Bible. There's no such thing as getting up on Sunday morning, going to Mindfulness Baptist Church in Louisville, Kentucky. Not such thing. But it is about the awareness, right, of yourself, of your surroundings. And I love this, compassion for yourself. Compassion for yourself and compassion for others. What you allow yourself to listen to. Who you allow yourself to listen to, right? If you know that phone rings and that name comes across that screen, you don't feel like it right now because it's not good for the mindful state, don't you answer that phone. Mindfulness is about compassion for you and others, right? Right? We always have that treat others as you would like to be treated. Hello, still stands, mindfulness. Mindfulness is not a waste of time. It's not, I'll see you later, I got to go practice some mindfulness. No, you're doing it right now. You're being aware. Mindfulness teaches us how to stay in the present, right? And how to act wisely in that moment. So if you're in the present, right, you have a clear mind, which taps into the upstairs brain, responsible decision making, right? So if you are mindful in what you do, what you say, how you act, then your mind wouldn't be so full of other things. Let's go. So mindfulness can also include, let me look at the time. Okay, this is really cool because this is what we do all day, especially since this coronavirus hit. Eating. There's a such thing as mindful eating. So when I was in the compassionate classroom, every Friday we would introduce or bring out some sort of food. And the favorite one for our class was the pineapple, right? And we use our 5 senses. So next time you're eating, we look at the texture. We felt the pineapple, how prickly it was, and the crown, the beautiful crown that was on top of the pineapple, right? And the color, and then we slice that thing, and oh my gosh, the yellow, the beautiful yellow, the smell, totally different from the outside and the inside. And ooh, that sweet taste. The kids were amazed at just taking a break, right? And looking at and tasting and smelling what I'm about to put in my body. And we can do that with every single meal. Shay, you talking about those 20 minutes we have a day? So if it is just a banana, right? And looking at the banana and how many marks it has on it and the texture and peeling it. And it's another texture inside and how we are savoring our food. You would actually enjoy your food better and teach your students and teach your children mindful eating. The way we
add something to that too.
Hey, you better add it, don't take away.
I just think about how people know what stress eating is, and mindful eating would be the opposite of that. So even as teachers, okay, we get 20 minutes for lunch, but plan it the night before. Plan it for the week so you know that it's not going to the vending machine to get a Snickers bar with your pop, and that's all the sustenance you're putting in.
I love it. Thank you. It's paying attention to what we eat. Now we can start doing that. We can open up our lunchbox and we can smell and we can savor and we can breathe while we eat, right? Make those 20 minutes, make it fun, right? Just that word savor. I love it. I love to say savoring the pepperoni pizza. We got to roll.
You want to do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Talk about it real quick.
Yeah, so it's Friday again, and it's going to rain tomorrow. But guess what? You have today. Let's be present in the moment. So do a mindful walk, and we call that the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 activity. So when you walk by yourself or with someone else, me, of course, with my kids, we're going to look at 5 things that we're going to bring our attention to that we see. 4 things we're going to mindfully listen to the sounds, the cars, maybe the birds, maybe a cat meowing, the things that we just take for granted. We just go the day by day, but we're going to be mindful in our walking. Even if you stick your tongue out and catch a, what are those things called? Forget. But anyway, things that we hear, things that we can even smell, the next door neighbor's motor going out. Things that we can smell, the McDonald's fries. Okay, so the benefits of mindfulness, let's roll. Psychological benefits, it increases the ability to manage your problems. How is that? Because your mind is clear, because you're just focusing on that present moment. Increases your coping skill. Clears your mind so you can't cope with things. Decreases depression. Say it. Decreases depression, right? Increases happiness. Right, we're going to get those dopamine into our bodies. That's the happy hormones. So we can tell cortisol, get the heck out of my body. I'm inviting dopamine, increases happiness. How can you be happy? You know that. Watching my children brings me happiness. Listening to music brings me happiness. Cooking in the kitchen, what brings you happiness? Right, physical benefits. Improves breathing and circulation. You will get better sleep if you practice mindfulness, right? So when you lay down, your mind will be clear and you won't wake up tired because you've been fussing and fighting with your emotions throughout the night, right? So you will get a better sleep. Mind clear, mindfulness. Let's go. All right, so another mindfulness activity. Please don't just keep this to yourself. Share it with your family and friends. Say, hey, girl, I learned this new mindfulness activity. I want to try it with you. So this is called compassion wishes. I've done this with my class. Kids can do this. So what we are going to do is we are going to use our imagination and put a physical body in front of us. Somebody that you care deeply about. So it could be a student that you're worried about. It could be a family member. It could be a spouse. And we are going to give them 3 compassion wishes. We're going to verbally say it. So please, chat room, get that person in your head. Today, I'm going to do this for my mother-in-law, Rita Olive. Love you, girl. Okay, so I have her in front of me, and you can keep your eyes closed or you can open them. So I'm thinking about my mother-in-law right in front of me, and I'm going to simply say, you do this too, I wish you good health, mother. I wish you peace and tranquility today and all the days of your life. Peace and tranquility. And mother, I wish you happiness and I wish you joy. And I'm talking about that unspeakable joy. And I'm talking about the joy that the world did not give you and the world can't take it away, that kind of joy for the rest of your days. Then I want to turn and I want to say to myself, hey, Shay, Happy Friday, girl. You made it another day. I wish you good health. Shay, I wish you peace and tranquility. When the world has all that weight on your shoulders, I wish you peace. When those negative thoughts start coming into your brain, I wish you peace. Right? When your NTI brain is overloaded, I wish you peace and tranquility. And lastly, Shay, I wish you happiness and I wish you joy. I wish you true happiness and true joy. Go back one, Lisa. I want to say that quote real quick.
Oh, all right.
I know we have a couple of minutes, but this is so important. If your compassion does not include yourself, it's incomplete. If your compassion does not include yourself, it is incomplete. What does that mean? Learn how to be compassionate to yourself. If that's self-talk all day long to yourself, do it. All right, let's go to the next one. We got to roll. All right, so this is a calendar for you. It's not your birthday or a holiday, but it's for you from the SEL team. Make yourself a priority. What you are seeing is a calendar without any dates because you can do any of these any day of the week. Share it. Share it. Did I say share it with a friend, with a family member, with your friends and your folks? All right, I'm just going to pick one out. Go for a drive, no destination required. Go for a drive, no destination required. Get your favorite artist on the radio, tune it in, turn it up. Today's going to be beautiful. Put the windows down, gas is at a good price. Go for a drive, no destination required. And so play around with this, right? Take a picture of it, send it to a friend. We have on this slide, it's your turn. Right? So you have many ideas of how to have fun, of how to show compassion to yourself and others. So this is for you to start plugging in fun activities that has you as the priority. So you can steal some of ours, but we want you to think of ways that will bring you joy, right? Real joy. So it's your turn. So click on that hyperlink and start filling in activities that will make you happy and that will fill your C to the U to the P. We want to keep our cup full. It's not going to be 100%. Not going to be 100% every day, but make sure you get something in that cup so you can keep going. Lastly, we're going to leave you with this quote. If you want to fly, I want to insert fly high. If you want to fly high, give up everything that's weighing you down. If you want to fly high, give up everything that's weighing you down. If that's forgiveness that you have to do it, right? If that's writing a thank you to your mother-in-law that you love so much for the wonderful meal she prepared that was so yummy, and it's been weighing you down, do it. Please, 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 life is too short to live way down. Please, if you want to fly, and Shay says fly high, give up everything that weighs you down. We love you from the SEL team. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. This is our contact information. The greatest boss in the world is at the top, Dr. Lamisa Marks-John. Our sisters are Jennifer and Lisa. Bye-bye. Lisa?
Thank you.